World War I and the Great Depression. As the film had shown, the globe was already embroiled in a war in Asia and in Europe for 2 years previous to December 7th, 1941. And the last thing our people wanted was to be entangled in another European war or a war in Asia. There was great reluctance and great resistance to get into a war. But on December 7th, our people were galvanized by a common threat and agreed collectively to endure significant hardship with an outcome that was far from certain. The scope and scale of the effort that ensued is hard to imagine. Imagine a population that had 14 times the percentage of people in uniform than you see today. 14 times. In the Marine Corps alone, in the 1930s, there were less than 20,000 Marines serving. By the end of World War II in 1945, there were 500,000. And that is just representative of the scale and commitment that our people made together. In the Pacific, we lost 25,400 Marines, a tremendous sacrifice. And we were ever mindful of that. It inspires and imbues the ideals of our standards on a daily basis. And that the same is true in the Army, in the Air Force, in the Navy, in the Coast Guard. And the many millions more people that served and supported our armed forces back at home in the industrialization of America, in the farms and factories that made our victory possible ultimately. The sacrifice and the hardship was shared by us all. And collectively, we came out with a vision for what we should be on the planet. There was about 20 years between world wars by the time December 7th, 1941 had happened. A little more than 20 years. In the 75 years since the end of World War II, as America has taken primacy on the global stage to ensure security, we've had no further world wars. And as we are ever mindful of the sacrifices made and the great heroism made by the previous generations, we are also mindful of mistakes. Within the Marine Corps, we are mindful of the fact that our Montford Point Marines, our heroes, had to endure significant discrimination and hardship just to have a chance to fight and serve. And that inspires us to be a better vision of ourselves. It inspires us to be better prepared for the next war. And the reason we haven't fought another world war in 75 years is that we have been ready. Ready because of the support of the American people and the preparedness of our young men and women who elect to voluntarily serve. It is a great honor to be here today. Please come and visit the museum and see for yourself the scale and scope of the sacrifice our people made. It is a reflection of who we intend to be on our best days. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lieutenant General Bellon, for those remarks.